Maybe stretching our shoulders up to the ears a bit and letting them drop, and up to the ears and letting them drop, up to the ears and letting them drop. And then just widening your shoulders in a slightly exaggerated way and letting them drop. So if you're sitting down, I invite you to feel where there may be a part of your body that's more hunched, and let that drop. Whether that be in the hips or the elbows, the shoulders, maybe even one side of the rib cage could drop down. So like we're dropping into our natural balancedness of our own skeletal form. Finding the place for your head between your shoulder blades, the neck, so the head on the neck, maybe turning it from side to side, and then finding the central spot where it's comfortable, where there's no strain on the neck. Breathing into our fingers, widening our fingers a little. Feeling into the base of the spine. Is it in the middle, or is it slightly to one side? Or too far forward, too far backwards? And just finding that spot that feels good. Maybe placing something at the base of the spine that helps you to keep an upright spine in a way that's energizing but also relaxed. So we're looking for that mix of comfortable but not slumped, which can become more uncomfortable when we're trying to hold a position in meditation. And how is that? How is that now? This coming into meditation once we've come into our posture. What are we coming aware of in the change from just going about our daily lives to this moment of gathering into meditation? This transition into something slightly different. What comes to our awareness with this change? Like a change of gear. feeling into what may be our background atmosphere of the day that's been with us, that's with us now. And does it have a particular sensation in the body, this background atmosphere, ambiance? Does it have emotions attached to it? Or a shape, or a color, or a texture? And without needing to name it, give it a label, just rather connecting with its felt sense, this atmosphere, background atmosphere, so that we know its shape and color, so we know its feeling inside us. And just being very light hearted with our embracing of it, so we're not diving into it if it's a bit difficult, if there's any troubles there. We're not diving into meeting it. We're just recognizing, oh, there's this atmosphere here. There's this ambiance in me. So we don't get overwhelmed by it. Maybe staying on the edges of its feelings. And how do we bring kindness to our inner weathers? Do we know kindness inside? Is there a gateway? Or maybe through the breath, taking some moments to be with the breath and to breathe in a kind of caressing, relaxing way. allowing our breath also to touch into any tensions, physical tensions, and allow them to kind of unravel, uncurl what's curled up and tight, allowing the breath to breathe into that. Maybe again coming to the spine, feeling into its natural curves and how much do we need to hold it up and straighten out and drop our shoulders for tensions to be allowed to drop away. So it's this coming into some awareness about our general atmosphere, what we're carrying with us in a way, then finding our relaxation around it through physicality, breathing. Or maybe it could be through one of the other senses, through hearing, just listening to all the sounds around us, listening and letting them drop away. But just the act of awareness listening can bring us into a present state that allows for some softening around what needs softening, if there is some need for softening. It could be one of the other senses, like taste or touch, smell, hearing, even the conceptual mind, feeling that consciousness and resting with that, just as a way of being present around our own inner weather. without focusing tightly on this inner weather. Just, oh, has it changed now? Has it shifted? Is there a different texture or shape? Feeling sense to this inner weather, inner atmosphere. Feeling which of the senses or the breath is easy to connect with a sense of gentleness, softness, loving kindness towards whatever's difficult for ourselves or others. What brings that softening for you? Without trying too hard and making it more difficult. Resting into this softness, where we find our gateway into that. Whether our softness is directed towards or around any difficulty, any unpleasantness that we are having more trouble dealing with, or whether there's just already easefulness and peacefulness in us, just resting that softness around it, enveloping, like caressing with our awareness. And each time that we kind of feel more disconnect with this, we can come back to breathing gently or listening, tasting, touching, smelling, hearing, one of the senses as a way of focusing into the present moment and finding our way into softness, gentling down into peacefulness. It's already there in us somewhere, as is softness. through reconnecting to our own capacity for gentleness and loving kindness, just resetting our intention of touching into that kind of awareness whenever we can, so that our intentions don't work away at us unconsciously and lead their own lives, getting us into trouble. So resting for some 3 or 4 minutes longer of this meditation into this connection with our own loving kindness and the spreading of this into our inner atmospheres and sensations in the body. and how these have a feedback loop effect when we know what our inner atmosphere is. Can become aware of our intentions, what's moving us, and act from this place. But this gentle coming back to in our informal meditation time when we're not sitting in meditation expressly. What is the atmosphere now? And knowing this gymnastic of bringing some softening, some care, some caringness to this as needed. Coming to the end of this meditation, just offering this moment of presence to ourselves for our own freedom from suffering. Like a good energy towards a wholesome energy towards this. And then sharing it with all living beings, all sentient beings. Like a bowing towards a giving.